I don't know what I'm gonna say. Tonight, your son, he will kick me out. And I feel like I don't want to walk out from here. I feel so lonely. I want him so bad.
What up, guys? This the one and only Travel Time with Paul. Make sure you like and subscribe and share this video. The topic of this video is he took his heart to Thailand and then this happened. But before I get into the topic of the video, I would like to give a mini monologue. Now, this is not a video down in Thailand making it look bad. I want to give a disclaimer here. This is just a video to educate my future travelers, whether you're in Australia, the UK, America, Canada, etc. If you coming from any Western country, if you coming from any other second world or third world country, you never been to Thailand, well, this video is to just educate you on the do's and the don't and what to look out for. Now, this is what I want to say in this monologue. A lot of people don't know this, but Thai women, for the most part, they wear the pants in the family. And what I mean by that, their family is relying on them to be the breadwinner. In other words, they send their daughters out from, they groom their daughter at a young age. They send them out to make the money and take care of damn near multiple generations. Take care of the moms, the dad is most likely probably alcoholic, everybody in the family. So if you're looking for a Thai woman, make sure you vet them properly. Because if you meet the wrong one, guess what? Her mom is most likely gonna be number one, then the money. Everybody else is gonna be number 1, 2, 3, and you'll most likely be 4 or 5 if you're lucky. So always keep that in mind when you go into a place like Thailand. And that's whether or not you mess with a bar girl or sometimes a normal girl, you know? It's survivor of the fittest, because what you gotta remember, people don't tell you this, but as a Thai person, being broke in Thailand is looked upon as a sin. So the women would do anything, by any means necessary, the women would do anything to get money to make sure they're not looked down on or shunned. That's why if you go to like Thai, let's say you go to like a Thai person Facebook, let's say a Thai woman, she can go to Dubai and make a lot of money over the weekend. Then what she would do, she would come back to her country, buy Mercedes Benz's, nice Germany, European style import cars or whatever. Nice condo or a house. Post it all on Facebook and to impress all the other Thai people that's from her country or whatever. They don't care how she got it. They don't care if she got the money the right way, or they don't care if she got it from being a S-worker. They just know she's doing well for herself, and she wouldn't be looked down upon because she's successful based on the material things she's showing on Facebook or whatever, no matter how she got the money. So I always keep that in mind. Now, let's get into the topic of the video. Now, this video is about a guy who was living in a Western country. I won't say the country because he want to remain extremely anonymous. Because he went to Thailand, caught something that he couldn't get rid of. So let's get into the story. Now this guy, he was a veteran traveler. Not a veteran that was in the military, but he was traveling up to this point for like 10, 15 years. Then been to Brazil, done been to all the most popular countries amongst the ones the passport bros talk about. But he went to Thailand because he always had a thing for Asian women. Asian women was always the fattest of the hills. His first love for an Asian woman was in San Francisco. She was Vietnamese and German. I think she was German and Vietnamese, if I'm not mistaken. So that was his first love for Asian women. Well, he goes to Thailand, fall in love with the cheap cost of living. First city he went to was Phuket, Thailand. Cost of living was moderate. It wasn't as cheap as the rest of the country. The only issue he had with Phuket was they wouldn't allow him to sign a lease for 3 months. Every condo or apartment that was available, they only had minimum 1-year lease. So he decided to get a hotel instead. Whereas he was living in the hotel, he decided to walk around a certain part of Phuket. He walked across this market where they sell these big old jugs of water. Now I'm gonna tell you something, tell you guys that's never been to Thailand. If you're gonna buy water from a store, not to get off the topic, always get it from a 7-Eleven or like a normal grocery store. Do not get water from these off-brand markets, because you don't know where that water come from. That water could be recycled faucet water. And the water treatment plants is nothing like the ones over here in the West. So your immune system probably wouldn't be immune to that type of water. If you drink it, you probably find yourself in an emergency room somewhere. But I digress. So he go to one of these markets selling these big gallons of water for dirt cheap. He buys his water. Next thing you know, a few days later, he's got the runs nonstop. Then he ended up in the hospital. It was so bad, they was almost about to do surgery on him. But he managed to avoid that or whatever. He had insurance or whatever. He was smart enough to get this health insurance you get before you visit any country. When you get to that country, like you have a heart attack or stroke, you cover. So he was good on that. Well, because of his bad experience in Phuket and the simple fact he met a woman that was working at one of the like massage parlors there, because he had a thing for women working at massage parlors. He met one Thai chick working in a massage parlor in Phuket, light-skinned Thai chick, mid-30s. Seemed like she was cool, but one day they was FaceTiming, and she kept making these references to monkeys and gorillas. Then she just got straight to the point and stopped beating around the bush and asked him, have anybody ever told him he had a nose like a monkey? He just about had it with her monkey and gorilla jokes, so he cussed her out, went off on her, blocked her. Then he decided to move to Bangkok, but he didn't like the pollution and the smog and everything in Bangkok. He said whenever he first arrived to Bangkok, he can just rub his face whenever he would step outside for 20 or 30 minutes, and his sweat would be black from all the smog and the pollution in Bangkok. So he just said, to hell with this, I'm gonna go to Pattaya. That's where he went. He went to Pattaya. He was able to find a nice condo there for 20,000 baht, not that far from Walker Street. He could literally walk outside his condo and walk to Sobu Cow, walk to Walker Street, and walk to the Marju Bar. This is when Dante was the owner of the Marju Bar, when he was living over there at this time. Now, before I finish the video, I want to tell y'all this guy, when I first started my channel, this was one of the guys who was trolling me, saying I had my heart broke while making negative videos about Thailand. Well, 3 weeks ago, he apologized. He sent me this email and sent me this story that I'm about to tell y'all, so let me continue with the story. This was a guy who had none but positive things to say about Thailand. Every time he would send me an email, he said I was disgruntled, I was bitter, my channel was negative, everybody needs to unsubscribe from me. Then 3 weeks later, you look around, he apologized to me, said I was right all along. He just didn't like the way I was going about it. He didn't like my delivery. Well, so let's go back with the story. So he goes to Pattaya. He managed to find himself a condo where he got a lease for 3 months. He was paying 20,000 bahts per month for this condo. It was walking distance from like everything. All the restaurants he wanted to go to, the malls. If he wanted to catch boat, it was dirt cheap to get anywhere just by catching boat. So he was running through Thai women back to back on Soy 6, any bar, Soy 7, any bar that you could go to and buy drinks and take the women upstairs. He was at these bars like back to back. But then one boring day, he was walking down Beach Road. There was a Thai guy right there by the mall barbecuing some ribs. He decided to get a half a slab. And as he walking down Beach Road towards Walker Street where all the night spots at, all the clubs and the bars, there was a group of Thai chicks sitting in one of the massage parlors, outdoors or whatever. Saw that he called, they spoke to him. He spoke back as he was eating his barbecue. And they made a comment about the barbecue, asking him was it good or whatever. But then there was one Thai woman that stood out. This woman stood out like the brand new 2024 Stingray Corvette, candy apple red to be exact. And he looked her up and down. It was almost like looking at the sun. He couldn't stare at it for too long. It was almost looking at a goddamn mountaintop, oceanfront property overlooking Malibu. She was brown skinned, slim, had perky twins on her chest, had a perky back, and great shape. Short, as he stated in the email, she could have been Marie, the R&B singer from back in the day that had that hit single, Why Don't We Fall in Love, and they had the other hit single, This One Thing That Got Me Tripping. She could have been her twin sister. Looked just like her as he stated, but with shoulder length hair. She was the only one that was looking at him, blushing, smiling, while everybody else was talking to him about coming in, getting a massage, and about the barbecue he was eating. She was just looking at him with a beautiful smile on her face. So it caught his attention. He wanted to get to know who she was. So he stepped to her, introduced himself or whatever, and she asked him, you want to come in and get massage? Now, this particular massage parlor wasn't one of them happy ending places, but if that's what you wanted, you could get that there. He told her, no, I don't want a massage. I want to get to know you. Well, because she was looking for customers, because they have been having a slow day, she was looking for customers to massage. They exchanged WhatsApp and line information. So he got her line information or whatever, went on about his way, text her, asked her what time did she get off work. She said she could get off a little early. She usually try to leave around 11 p.m. or midnight. Then he asked her, could you come stay the night with me? I don't have any girlfriend. I'm not seeing anybody right now. I'm lonely. I would like for you to come over. He assumed she wasn't an ex worker or a freelance because she was working at a massage parlor, and it was one of the ones where the Thai women are a little bit more on the older side. But she was one of the youngest ones working with them. She was like 28 years old, I believe, 28 or 29, as I remember in the email. So she said, why you want me to come over? What do you want to do? How long you here for? Are you here for holiday? He said, no. Oh, I'm looking to make this my forever home. And I'm looking to maybe look for a woman to start a family with. Well, she sent them a message back, why do you choose Pattaya? A lot of foreigners come here only looking for boom boom. In other words, peace leave from the women. They looking to purchase peace leave from the women. So he told her he wasn't looking for any of that. But y'all already heard the beginning of the story, so he was shit. This was his way of running game. Now, what he failed to realize what she had in stores for him, he thought he was running game, but the game she was about to run on him was way better than the game he ever thought about running on her. The type of game he brought to Thailand was the type of game he probably wished he would have just woke up out of his sleep and asked God for forgiveness and apologized to the devil for giving him that whack game that he took to Thailand, thinking he was about to manipulate and get the best out of the women over there. But I digress. So she asked him, what make you come to Pattaya? Do you know there's no love in Pattaya? He said, no, that's not true. There's good women here in Pattaya. She replied back to him and said, no, if you're looking for good women, you will not find that in Pattaya. Men come to Pattaya to have fun only, that's it. Then she told him I would come over, but how much would you pay me to come over? He said, pay you. Are you a freelancer? She sent back smiling emoji. No, just kidding. Where's your hotel located? He said, I don't live in a hotel, I live in a condo. Trying to be braggadocious on her, trying to stunt by saying I live in a condo. She asked him, where's the condo located? He told her. Then she said, whenever I get ready to get off, send me the address or whatever. He told her, I'll do you one better. Let me know whenever you get off and I can come and meet you. That way we can go get a bite to eat. She said, okay. Time went on. She sent the message saying she was getting off soon. Well, he called a motorbike back down to the massage parlor she was working at. They decided to walk to some of the restaurants not that far that was in the area, get a bite to eat. He told her, I want to get to know you better in person. That's when she told him about her life. She told him she had just got out of a 4-year relationship with a Korean guy. And the Korean guy ended up sick. She never told him why the Korean guy was sick, but he had to go back to his home country. That's why they couldn't talk no more, and that's why they couldn't see each other anymore. So he got to talking about his life story. We got to bragging about his lifestyle back home, all the fancy cars that he owned, the multiple homes that he owned or whatever, and the nice, wanted to even show her a picture of one of his 4-car garage homes he owned in one of the suburbs. So why would he do something like that? I have no idea. But back to the story. That's crazy if you ask me. I mean, first of all, she looking at you as an ATM machine already, because you from a Western country where the money is the value of the money is better than theirs. But then you just had to take it a step further by being braggadocious and showing her all your nice cars, all your nice possession. You was asking to be a lick. So they go back to his place and he asked her, why earlier you put a price on yourself? You told me I would have to, how much will I pay you to come and stay a night? She told him because a lot of foreigners, they like her. She get approached by foreigners all the time from all types of countries. And they always want her to come to stay over, and she always tell them a price or whatever. And a lot of times they would say no, because they assume she wasn't a freelancer. And a lot of guys have tried to sleep with her for free and not pay her. Now that should have told him right there that this woman was most likely a freelancer. But he didn't read the room. He couldn't read between the lines. He was illiterate in this situation. So, long story short, they watched a couple of movies or whatnot on TV or whatever. She wanted to watch some Thai movies. He put on some Thai movies. He told her, I'm tired. I just got through working out before I come to meet you. I'm about to go to bed. she asked him, why don't you take a shower first? Because Thai women, a lot of times, if they're gonna stay the night with you or lay down with you, they like to take a shower with you. They all, no matter if you got through doing a boom boom or was on some intimate shit, they always want to get in that shower before and after. So she said, let's go take shower. He said, wow, I took a shower before I came and met you at the gym. She said, no, let's take another one. Well, they go in his bathroom and they take a shower, and she started kissing him. He stopped like a cornball and asked her, do you always kiss everybody you meet? Now, when I'm reading this on the email, I'm thinking, of course she does. She does it for a living. She's selling relationship. It's a fantasy, fool. Did you not know this before you went over there? Or did you think it was like Brazil or any other places? Which they probably doing it over there too, but to a lesser degree. So they kissing in the shower, and he pulled back, asked her, do you kiss everybody you meet? And she grabbed his head with a lot of strength, started back kissing him. In other words, she didn't answer the question. So they take their shower together, and he noticed she was one of the first, this is one of the first Thai women he took a shower with. Now, usually when you go on Soy 6, which is where he was going, a lot of the Thai women take you upstairs and they take a shower with you too before y'all get down and dirty. Well, I don't know how he didn't notice a lot of the Thai chicks wasn't using towels to wash their bodies off. They use their hands. They don't use towel to scrub themselves. They use soap in their hands. So this the first time he realized he passed her the face towel to wash her body, and she waved her hand no, started washing her own body with her hands. And he was kind of confused. So he like, how the hell y'all get the dirt and grime and everything from the streets off? So he took it upon himself and treated her like a 1978 Chevy Nova and started washing her himself. She started blushing with a strong Thai accent. She said, no one has ever done that for me. Holding her hands, blushing. Not only did he wash her body head to down, he put shampoo in her hair and started washing her hair or whatever, started caressing and massaging her scalp. I guess he was trying his best to win her over. That was part of his game. So he washed her from head to toe because his condo didn't come with a bathtub. It came with a shower only. Dried her off from head to toe, and she dried him out. Then he took her to bed, kissed her some more, started kissing all up on her upper chest or whatever on her breast. Then he worked his way down and started eating between the thighs like a bowl of Sherman ice cream. She started shaking, shivering, like she had just went to heaven, died and went to heaven and came back to earth. Then she said with another accent again, she's very horny. She's ready to please him. Well, he wasn't done. He turned over on her backside, and y'all know the rest. I ain't gotta go into details. Open up the booty cheeks and had his way with those. Then after that, she got up, he laid down or whatever, and she put his whole manhood in her mouth. Now in the email, he said a lot of the Thai women never did a great job going downtown on him, but she was hands down in his top 5. In his top 5, whether it was in his home country or other country he's already been to, she was in the top 5. She was sucking the soul up out of him. She was so great, with her small mouth, she could have sucked the juice up out of a Sprite can without even opening up the can, is what he stated. But you know, I gotta use my ad lib, so he didn't say that, but that's how great she was with her mouthpiece. So he decided in his head he didn't want to talk to no other Thai women. He wanted this one. She had an honest job. She was making an honest living. At least that's what he thought, working at a massage parlor. He assumed she wasn't a freelancer. Now, to make things even sweeter, what she was doing, she was slowly grooming him to sleep. Didn't ask him for much money in the beginning stage because she was playing the long game. She wasn't a great cooker. She was okay. He's had better Thai food from other Thai women he ran across before he met her. She was a decent cooker. She didn't season the wings the way he wanted. So what she would do, she would use the money she was making at the massage parlor and go to like some of the street food vendors or to some of the Thai restaurants in the neighborhood he was living in and buy Thai food and bring it back to him with her own money. He was like, wow, a Thai woman using her money to buy me food. I ain't got to use my own money. He thought he had one. He thought he was winning. He just knew he was winning. Well, one day he got sick because he took a weekend getaway to Chiang Mai or whatnot, and he came back sick with a fever or whatever, sore throat and all. He allowed her to stay at the condo while he was going out of town. Well, when he got back, he was sick, sweating real bad, and she made sure she nursed him and everything. Would watch TV and go check on him every so often, wipe the sweat off his face and all that good stuff. Treated him like a damn king, royalty. So after he got well, she asked him, Can we go take vacation? Can we go somewhere for a holiday? Now, he asked her, where would you like to go? Because he didn't know the country that well. She told him Hua Hin. He Googled Hua Hin and thought it was a dope ass spot. Nice beaches, looked like a nice resort. So he said, yeah, let's go to Hua Hin. On the way to Hua Hin, he decided to rent a car. He had already been driving in Pattaya, renting motorbikes, renting cars here and there because he learned how to drive on the opposite side of the road living in London. So he decided to rent a car so they could drive themselves to Hua Hin so he could see some of the countryside, the scenic views of Thailand, spots he'd never seen before. Because when he moved to Pattaya from Phuket, he flew there, so he didn't really get to see the good views. On the way to Hua Hin, that's when he started seeing the dark side, the other side of her. Now remind y'all, this was a beautiful woman. Looked like Anne Marie, identical twin. Soft-spoken, but had a strong accent or whatever. So she started slick, kind of like throwing temper tantrums. This was her way of trying to manipulate money out of him indirectly without asking directly, but he didn't know that. So he asked her, so she asked him, how come you really never take care of me? He asked her, what do you mean? She said, her last boyfriend, which was the Korean guy, used to always spend money on her, used to always take care of her whole family, even bought them chickens and buffaloes and a small plot of land or whatever. If you love me, how come you never treat me like that? She started guilt tripping him, but he didn't fall for it yet. He was like, wait a minute, I gotta do all that to be with you? Then she responded, yes, you married Thai woman, you have to pay for dowry. You have to do this, you have to buy that, etc. He didn't know none of this. He was misinformed. So he said, well, it looks like I'll never be getting married in Thailand. You probably have to come back to my home country and we get married there. So she started crying. He said, what's wrong? I don't want to leave Thailand. I want to stay here with my mom, is what she told him. She wanted to stay in Thailand because that's where her mom was there. She loved her mom to death. And her dad and mom had already split because her dad wouldn't stop drinking. Now, this woman was originally from Isan, but we'll get to that part of the story. So let's get to Hua Hin. They got to Hua Hin. She didn't have nothing to swim in or get in the water. So he went to like one of the stores and bought her some swimwear. They did a little swimming. He noticed she had a wandering eye. Every other foreign guy that would walk by that had a body looked like he'd been working out in the gym for 32 years or had a 6-pack or an 8-pack or a 12-pack, she would break her neck looking at this guy. Mouth all watery like a Doberman picture, ready to lock down on something. He asked her, wow, why are you looking at all these other guys when you got me? She started making him feel bad, like, you look at other women. Don't ask me that. I never say anything to you. Why you always look at other women? You look at other women, but you not happy with me? I go back home. I don't have time for this shit. That's what she told him. He said, well, do you really you want me to take you home? Then that's when she looked him in the eyes and she said, up to you. I don't care, up to you. That's what she told him. So he said, well, no need for that. I'm actually enjoying our little vacation, our little trip. Let's stay here. She didn't answer back for 5 minutes. She gave him the silent treatment for at least 5 or 6 minutes or whatever. So they get back to the room. Her phone was about to be cut off. Now, mind y'all, she had him at the job working at the massage parlor. But what he didn't know, she had been stopped going once they got together. Whenever she moved in with him full time, she quit her job working at the massage parlor. Now you probably wondering, how he did not know that. He didn't really, it wasn't obvious. Well, what was going on, whenever she would leave his condo to go to so-called work, she was still going to work, but it just wasn't a massage parlor. She was going to go stay with other guys that was paying her for a short time or long time to spend time with her during the day. And that's why she still had a little money. But he didn't realize that she was freelancing herself while she was with him. So they get back to the room, her phone was about to be cut off. Because the money she was making from the guys when she wasn't going back to work, she was sending back home to her mom's. She was sending every dime she was making back to her family, back in Isan. So she said, my phone about to be cut off. Can you pay it? Well, he got attitude. He said, don't you have a job? Why won't you pay your own bill? She told him with an accent, if you gonna be with Thai women, you have to take care of Thai women. You gotta take care of Thai women, you gotta take care of family and all that good stuff. He said, why the hell I gotta take care of you and your family? Well, that's when she told him, It's not like where he come from, where they got where the women get Social Security and SSI. The family rely on us, the female, to be the breadwinner and take care of the whole family, whatever. In other words, like a retirement plan, like I told y'all before. So he started looking like, hell no, I'm not doing it. So I want to say they was on the 8th or 9th story at the hotel they was at. 10, 15 minutes go by. She come out with nothing but boy shorts on and a t-shirt. She was crying. He asked her, what's wrong? She told him, I kill myself. You know, love me. I kill myself. So he said, what the hell you mean you about to kill yourself? That's when she opened up the door and she was about to jump off the balcony. At least that's what he thought. But he didn't realize it was reverse psychology. She was about to jump off the balcony. I love you. You know, love me. And he stopped. He like, what the hell you doing, crazy ass woman? What you doing? Snatched her back from jumping off the balcony. And that's when she fell down on her knees on the balcony and broke down crying, gripping tight to his leg. I love you. Please don't do this to me. He said, don't do what to you? And she didn't respond. So he said to himself, this bitch is crazy, but I love her to death. It's what he's thinking. So he was able to talk her into coming back into their hotel or whatever. Cause he didn't want to lose this woman, he decided he was gonna take care of her. He even told her to quit her job. She said, no, I don't quit job. You won't pay enough money to send back to family. He said, how much you need? She told this man 55,000 baht a month. He went into the currency exchange to see how much that was. Let me tell y'all, that's a lot of goddamn money. Guys in America, UK probably don't even spend that much money on a woman that's not even their wife. But you spending that on a woman in Thailand where the cost of living is supposed to be cheaper. That's crazy. So they got to arguing because he said, I'm not paying it. I can do 30,000 a baht. She said, no, that's not enough. So she started throwing another temper tantrum. She got up, went and got a glass that was on the table and threw it down on the floor real hard and it bust. His eyes got as big as 2 lemon lines from Cambodia. And he was like, what the hell wrong with this woman? So they was able to meet in the middle to negotiate. He was able to give her 45,000 baht per month in order to keep her from working or going back to work. Well, what he didn't know, she still was keeping in touch with a lot of the Johns she was still messing with via line or whatever. That was currently in the country of Thailand and that was outside of the country from other countries. And he noticed as time went on, she started losing a little weight. Now, remind y'all, she wasn't a big girl in the first place. She had to be at least 50 kilos. I think that's what she was, close to like 125 pounds or 130 pounds. Well, as time went on, them being together, she got down to like 117, 115. She was slimming down. Her face was slimming down. So one day, she told him she wanted to go out with her friends to like one of the nightclubs in Pattaya. They got into a big argument. He said, why would you want to do that when you got me? She said, you don't do anywhere. You bore me. You don't take me nowhere. You don't go anywhere. So he gave in, lost the argument, because you can't win an argument with a Thai woman. A Thai man will tell you, if you get into an argument with a Thai woman, be quiet and just let them carry on. Let them think they won. Well, that's what he did. So he allowed her to go out with her Thai female friends to the nightclub or whatnot. Well, she turned her phone off and then come back for 2 days or whatever. He like, where the hell she at? So when she came back, he noticed she was drunk as hell. Makeup was all over the place. Like she had just left the nightclub when she had just went 48 hours ago. And another thing he learned, she was getting high. He didn't know none of this, but she was on hardcore drugs. That was one of the ways she was losing weight. But they got into a big argument about that, and then he put her out for a couple of days. Then he got to missing her and he called her back. After a while, he went to piss one day and he started burning. She gave him an STI. He went to go to one of the clinics in Pattaya to go get checked, get an STI check. Well, a few days went by, he tested positive for gonorrhea, and he tested positive for gonorrhea and he tested positive for syphilis. They was able to give him some antibiotics or whatnot for the gonorrhea. One of the people working at the clinic suggested that he should take a HIV test and a herpes test. He said, nah, I'm good. I don't think I have any of that. Well, he took the test and he got the antibiotics, but as weeks went by, his manhood started blistering like it had chicken pox. So he didn't understand. He like, what the hell could I have or whatever? He asked her, because at this time, this was the only woman he was sleeping with. He was with her most of the time. He actually loved this woman. Not to mention, he was getting ready to buy this woman a BBL and some implants. Well, it's a good thing he didn't. So they got into a big argument or whatnot, and she decided, I leave, you crazy, and went about her way for like a few hours, and then she came back, They made out, and she decided she wanted to take him to Isan, to her village, to meet her family. This dumb fool felt so special because she said Thai women, they never take foreigners to meet their family unless they love them or unless they really got feelings for them. So she took him to Isan to meet her family or whatever. It was a long 8 to 9 hour trip, something like that. They drove there, took them a while to get there. Isan is a very large region. So as they go into Isan, he didn't know the con was already in. The family was in on it. They was using their daughter. He did not know the whole time he was just being used as an accessory. The whole damn time she was using this man like a name brand garden tool from Home Depot. That days was now numbered and that was rustling out. She was almost ready to replace him with another garden tool. So they go to Isan. He meets the whole family. They all greet him. Gave him the whole red carpet treatment. Cooked a nice wholesome meal for him and everything. That's when he realized her mom was a way better cooker than she was. So as they sit down eating in the village, the whole time his girlfriend and the family, they were talking so bad about him, he didn't even realize it. I bet he wish he knew answer Thai. If he knew this is why some Thai women in the tourist traps don't want foreigners knowing Thai. Because if he knew Thai, then he would have realized right then and there he was being played the whole damn time like a 1994 Sega Genesis. But they would talk about him, laughing in his face and every damn thing. Well, days go by. It was time for them to leave Isan or whatever and go back to Pattaya. His money was starting to run a little short, but she didn't realize it. When they got back to Pattaya, she tried to convince him to buy a condo, buy outright or whatever, and put both of their names on it. He didn't have enough money to buy a condo because his money was running short because she had already been milking him dry. They agreed to $45,000 a month, but what some Thai women would do, you think that's all you're going to pay them is just what y'all agreed on? Nah, you're going to pay more than that. In the long run, he probably was paying her $100,000 a month on everything he was buying, everything she was nickel and diming him out of. So they get back to the condo and then she throw a big temper tantrum because he disagreed on getting a condo or whatever, because she didn't know he didn't have the funds to go get a condo. The one condo she wanted was at least 85 grand or some shit like that. It was like 90, it was less than 100,000. It was in the town, not that far from Pattaya. So she threw a big temper tantrum. He said, you know what, I'm just about tired of your shit. I want you out of my place. That's when she grabbed the bottle of hot sauce that was on the table and bust him upside the head with the hot sauce. He grabbed her, but he didn't really want to put hands on her. And he body slammed her on the bed or whatever. She started hollering, started speaking in Thai. Let me go, motherfucker, is what she stated. When she got up, she jumped up and she started swinging on him crazy or whatever and hit him one good time in the eye and kind of swelled his left eye. Then he pushed on the fucking floor and opened up the condo door and then kicked her out to the hallway. She got up and she started running. I call police. He ran out barefooted and chased her down, football tagging her on the ground. Another Thai woman opened up her door and asked her in Thai, I guess what's going on. She started crying, let me go. He said, everything fine. So he takes her back to his condo or whatever. A moment later, the police get there, the Thai police. They wanted to know what was going on. The Thai woman was able to convince the Thai police everything was good. They asked for his passport. They took a picture of his passport or whatever. Then they took a picture of her identification. And they had a long conversation with her in Thai. But as he tried to talk to the Thai police, they ignored him. They just brushed him off. Because they did speak English, but they didn't pay him no never mind. They treated him like he was shit. Like, you came to our country for all the wrong reasons anyway. Well, long story short, later on that night is when she really threw a temper tantrum. She said, you not love me. Well, why we gotta stay at this condo? Why you don't buy another condo where we can live in? She wanted one that was like a 2-bedroom, more space and everything. This condo he was living in was very small. You could literally walk up out of the living room and be in the bedroom just like that. It was right there. It was almost damn near as big as this semi truck. So at this point, he said, you know what, I'm tired of this woman shit. He said, hey, you keep this shit up, you're gonna have to get up out of my place. Well, she fixed her a plate of food, sat down and ate for a while. Then she went out on the balcony, closed the balcony doors. He was watching TV, he started smelling this odd, weird smell. it smelled, it was weird. He moved the curtain to look out. She was smoking methamphetamines. I believe that's what it was. Don't get me wrong. I don't feel like going back to the email. She was smoking some heavy shit. He was like, what the fuck this woman doing? Ice? They got that in Thailand is what he thought. Where he moved the condo, he was like, what the fuck you doing? She was high as hell at this point, high, smoked up out of her mind. He knocked it up out of her hand and it fell down. She went, aye. He grabbed her, she spit in his face. He said, that's it, you bitch. They got the tussling or whatever. He got her and he pushed her back out of his condo, shut the door, and she started hitting the condo door hard as hell, like she was trying to kick it down. He got her bags and shit, packed everything up quick, threw it out on her, but before he could shut the door, she pushed it and scratched him in the face hard as fuck. Then that's when he kind of elbowed her in the rib cage, and she went, caught herself like he knocked the wind up out of her. He said, you lousy bitch. Shut the door, locked the door. She was out there cussing and tired, whatnot. He said, when he looked in the mirror and looked at his face, blood was coming out of the scars. So she can't act the fool and all that shit, carried on. Then I guess she got her things and left. This man actually went downstairs looking for her like he was about to tell her to just come on back. But when he went downstairs, she was down there by the streets, getting inside of a boat, leaving. Where he sent her a message saying, you were gonna come back, but she had done blocked him at this point. A month went by, he went to the massage parlor thinking she went back to her old job to try to get her back. And they said she haven't worked at the massage parlor for at least a couple of months. He was like, wait a minute, she was going to work the whole time. When the Thai women realized that he didn't know this, they didn't say anything, they didn't rat her out. They were saving face for her. So as he tried to ask what she was doing the whole time, they started acting dumbfounded. He went everywhere looking for this woman, but he couldn't find her. He was blocked. So a couple of months went by. It was time for him to go back to his home country. He went back to his home country or whatever, and he started coughing, started feeling lightheaded and dizzy. He would wake up in the middle of the night sweating after being in his own country for a few months. He decided to go to like one of the nearby clinics, one of the clinics, whatever, where you go take your drug test, to go get a blood work done and all that good shit. They advised him to go to like a health department, where he went to the health department, tested for herpes. Now he tested for herpes, I want to say at the clinic. He tested for he got an HIV test done at the health department. So he went to the health department, he got the AIDS test done, and he had to wait for his results to come in. Where he went back to go get his results, it was a male nurse, African American guy. Walked up on him and started shaking his head. The black guy moved his mask. He's like, brother, I feel sorry for you. Do you want me to tell you the bad news, or do you want to see this for yourself? He said, nah, man, I got this. Don't worry about it. He said, okay, I wish you good luck and God bless you. He get his results and he went to go sit in his car. Open up, look at the results, HIV positive. He bust out and started crying, hitting his steering wheel. And the first thing he thought, he wanted to get back on the first thing, smoking, and go finish this woman. She was already dying a slow death, but he wanted to speed up the process. So, make long story short, he went to Thailand, he took his heart to Thailand, but he came back with not just a broken heart, but STDs and STIs. And a bank account that was almost damn near on E. Because what he was doing, he was going back to his home country to recuperate so he can go back and chase that first high he got for being with that Thai woman. He was going back looking for that again. That was his plan. But once he tested positive for HIV, he felt like he didn't have anything to live for anymore. He's been back to Thailand since, but he haven't ran across the woman that gave him the package since. She's MIA, ghost. Now, he don't know whether or not she's already passed away, or did she just up and move to another part of Thailand. Then he put two and two together about her Korean boyfriend. He was thinking that's most likely what happened to her Korean boyfriend. She gave him the package, and he got so sick he had to go back to his home country. So the moral of the story, guys, yes, it could be bad dealing with the women in the Western country you come from, whether it be Australia, the UK, America, Canada, etc. But always remember, we living in 2024. Globalization been in full effect. Everybody got a smartphone. Everybody got an iPad. Everybody got access to the internet. In other words, women are women no matter where you go. all that, the grass is green on the other side. Yes, the culture may make it seem that way, but even if you go to a place like Thailand, you can ride down the street in the tourist traps, and what you think the first thing you would notice? Every woman gonna be glued down to her phone, just like this, looking to their phone. Just like what you would see over here in America, the same shit. So that'll be the end of that story. But make sure you guys leave your thoughts down below in the comment section. Make sure you like and subscribe and share this video. And until next time, I'm out. 1.